So I will usually be a little bit posterior to midline. So we're adding a little bit more posterior compression to the SI joint. But whatever allows me to push in that direction. We had a couple of students where their waist was really small and their hips were a little bit wide, and there was a kind of a steep slope here, and that made it where if I put my hand right here, I kind of felt like I was jabbing them in the side. So in that case, you just got to modify. What we need is this vector. So however you need to situate yourself to create that vector and not feel awkward, most of the time you're going to be on like glute medius and probably a little bit of minimus. So take that into consideration, because when we're pushing on this, especially with the kind of force that we need, you might say, well, that hurts right here where you're pushing. So I want you to pay attention to that. And I would never say a lot of this to the patient, I just do it. But if you do notice that, I'm going to then tell the patient, if you can, try to ignore what's going on in the muscle here and try to pay more attention back here. Because a lot of times they'll be like, oh, that's really tender. They don't even know what's going on in their SI joint. And I really want them to pay attention to that. So we'll see what happens. Try to make it a broad contact. I got a little bit of a downward slope here, so I'm going to angle like this. Lean in. Can't do it that way because I'm sliding too much. Lean in like this. See how the knee's abducting a little bit? That means I'm getting the right force in there. The knee's coming up. That's not my goal, but that's an artifact of me pushing on the pelvis like that. Did that hurt at all? Not in your back. Where I was pushing? Yeah. That's pretty normal. I mean, a lot of people have tenderness around there. So just pay attention. I mean, you're pushing with enough force, even if you make your hand really broad, that you'll probably notice some soreness in there as the patient. That's not a positive. On your stomach. Okay, last one is the sacral thrust. Hand on the sacrum. If their pelvis isn't very wide and your whole hand is like on their entire pelvis, you have to move your hand. Usually you got to turn it up on its side so you get just sacrum. You just want to push on the sacrum here, push on the whole pelvis. It's kind of hyperextensive back. Hand like that on the sacrum. Lean in. Oscillate. What you feel there? Okay, any pain? Good.